Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Today, in this episode, we will be covering the month of June. Last episode, we had the 2021 MLB Draft, which, of course, is one of the most important episodes of the series thus far. If you missed that episode, I'll leave a card in the top right, as it was a pretty good one. We had a really strong draft class, including our number 5 overall pick, which was spent on outfielder Louis St. John. At only 18 years old, I really like what he brings to the table, and I think he can be a cornerstone for us for a long time. We also got our long-term closer in Julian Starnes in the second round, and overall, we had a really well-rounded draft class, in my opinion, with obviously those two really good prospects at the top, and a lot of other talented players as well. So with only 2 months before the trade deadline, I want to take a peek at the trade market. I do plan on possibly making some big moves within the next couple episodes if I feel they're necessary. This is a current look at the trade block. Now, there are some players who wouldn't make sense, like Randy Arozarena, for example. The Rays have no reason to trade him. I don't know why he would be on there. But we are looking for young players who make sense, specifically prospects. Taking a look here at the top 50 prospects list, we're really looking for any elite prospect who doesn't play catcher. Position doesn't matter because we have plenty of holes on the team that need to be filled. I'm doing a player finder search of players who are young, who are not very good, and have at least 93 potential. And doing this player search searching around the rest of the major leagues, there are some really enticing prospects who I want to look at. Robert Puason is really good, but he's also really valuable. I don't think the A's would want to trade him. Some more realistic options include shortstop prospect Marco Luciano from the Giants. C.J. Abrams makes sense as well. The Padres do already have Fernando Tatis Jr., so maybe they don't view Abrams as a part of their future. Jeremiah Jackson from the Angels is also really good. I know we've only looked at shortstops. I promise that's just a coincidence. Jason Dominguez would be interesting, but I don't really want to help out our division rival. Xavier Edwards, again, an interesting player, but he's on a division rival. Mackenzie Gore is another face to look out for. I don't want to neglect the pitchers, and I think we could use another really good pitching prospect or two. Daniel Espino from Cleveland is another good example of a guy I would consider. Now, there are a bunch of prospects who fit my criteria. Those are just a few. Let me know what types of players you think we should get in the comments. So I also obviously need to figure out what types of established major league players I would trade, because we don't have a lot of them. And someone who does make sense is Trey Mancini. I'm not saying I'm going to trade Trey Mancini right now, but if you think about it, he is 29 years old. He's having a really good season, and his value is going to be higher now than ever. I imagine many Oriole fans will not want me to trade Mancini, and I'm still not planning on doing that this season, but it is something we could consider. Also, for right now, I will have Chance Sisco start against righties because he's played a lot better this season than Pedro Severino. And as long as Sisco keeps playing well, he's going to be the main-time starter. But if he starts to slow down, we're probably going to get ready to call up Adley RUTSCHMAN. RUTSCHMAN is having a great season over with AAA, and it may be time to call him up soon. We're going to simulate these next 2 weeks going into the Toronto series, and we ended up doing okay. We could have done better, but we also could have done worse, I suppose. We ended up going 5-7 in that span, now giving us a record of 27-41. Chance Sisco's been fine in that 2-week stretch, but I think it's time. Adley RUTSCHMAN's having an outstanding season in AAA, hitting .276, on-base percentage of .365, OPS at .888, hitting for good power. He's just had an outstanding season. I think it's time to call him up. Dilson Herrera will move down to AAA, so that's whose roster spot Adley RUTSCHMAN will be taking. So RUTSCHMAN is now a member of the Major League team, but we're not done. Dean Kremer's had a really bad season. He's going to move down to AAA. And Tom Eshelman, who's had a great season with the Norfolk Tides, he will move up to the big league level. So Adley RUTSCHMAN will be the everyday starter at catcher over Chance Sisco and Pedro Severino. And Chance Sisco now becomes interesting because he's having a good season. He's only 26 years old with a potential. I think he's going to have value, so he may be a player we look to trade at the deadline. Tom Eshelman will now enter our rotation as a starter. Eshelman does have Major League experience, but he's never been a full-time starter in a rotation. So we'll see what he can do with that opportunity. Let's get into this game here against Toronto, the Major League debut Up top prospect, Adley Rutschman, the former #1 overall draft pick out of Oregon State, who's had a great season this year in AAA, the top prospect in the organization, the third-ranked prospect in baseball, only behind Corey Lee of the Astros and Spencer Torkelson of the Tigers. Here's a look at both lineups 1 to 9 in this game. Speaking of debuts, Tom Eshelman will be making his season debut. He has, again, pitched in the major leagues in the past. He started 4 games last year and wasn't half bad. 12 appearances total, 3-1 record, sub-4 ERA, sub-1.25 whip, and he'll be making his first major league start of the year. 1 on, 1 out for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. as the Orioles will turn the 5-4-3 double play. More chemistry than a science project on that one. Good first inning of action from Eshelman as we go to the bottom of the first. Trent Thornton will be getting the start here for Toronto. He's had a fine season, nothing crazy, but certainly not bad. Here's Anthony Santander up at the plate with 1 out, nobody on. Crushes this one high and deep in a right center field at the track, and it is caught. A tough catch for Grichuk. That one nearly went over the fence. Let's go bottom 2 now. Runner on here for Austin Hayes as he will bloop this one into right. It drops for a hit, and the Orioles will have 2 runners on and nobody out. And that'll bring up the catcher, Adley Rutschman, for his first major league at-bat, and he strikes out. Would have hoped it would have been a little bit more exciting than that one. That's actually a big out for Toronto. There were nobody out and 2 runners on, and now with 1 out, the Blue Jays will be able to get out of the rest of that inning. Top 3, there's Jonathan Davis striking out. Tom Eshelman has really been impressive. He's not allowed to run yet. Bo Bichette now up at the plate. He hits this one nicely into left field. I think I jinxed myself. Toronto with a strong opportunity to get home. Mullins to the cutoff man. Galvis to the plate. The throw is in time. The Orioles gun him out. Adley Rutschman applies the tag. Great play by Mullins and Galvis to get the throws. And Rutschman in his debut perfectly places the tag on the runner. Game remains tied at 0. Let's go bottom 3 now. Here's Santander up at the plate. Hits this one high off the wall in right. Should go for extra bases, and with 2 outs, Baltimore now has a runner in scoring position for the meat of the lineup. That'll bring up Ryan Mountcastle, the major opportunity of a full count pitch. This one is hit high, not all that deep in the right, and it will be caught to end the inning. No damage done yet by either offense through 3 innings. The game remains tied at 0 as we go to the 4th. George Springer is up. He does not have the luxury of having trash cans banging, but he does have the luxury of having bad defense from Freddie Galvis, as that's a single in the left. Galvis should have cleanly fielded that ball, but instead he blatantly missed it. That'll bring up the following batter, Teoscar Hernandez, who dribbles this one to the pitcher. Eshelman makes the play to end the inning. 4 shutout frames so far for Tom Eshelman in his season debut. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. For the rookie, Adley Rutschman gets it to drop in the left center. The first major league hit in the career of Adley Rutschman. First of hopefully many. That baseball is going to definitely be saved for a long time. An unforgettable moment for Adley as the first baseman coach will retrieve the baseball, get it into the dugout, and Rutschman's going to have that as a souvenir for the rest of his life. However, the Orioles will not score this inning as Cedric Mullins goes down looking, so it remains tied at 0 going into the 5th. Marcus Semien up at the plate. He grounds this one into left for a single. Both teams are getting a decent amount of hits, but nobody's been able to score yet. So Semien is now on first. That'll bring up Reese McGuire. He's done some weird things in his past. Semien stealing second. The throw behind the dish is in time. Part-time ball player, full-time sniper. What a throw by Adley Rutschman, picking off the first runner of his career. McGuire grounds this one to Galvis, who makes a great defensive play. I don't know what Maikel Franco was doing. So Galvis makes up for his bad play in the 4th. And now let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Still tied at 0, but that'll change right here. Jahmai Jones with a bomb into left. If it's fair, it's gone, and it goes off the foul pole. The Orioles break the scoreless tie and finally get someone on the board. Jones with his 8th home run of the season. He has displayed really solid power as the leadoff hitter. Let's look at this one again. Only 354 feet, but it was fair and it was deep enough. Baltimore would then make a pitching change. Tanner Roark will enter for the O's after Trent Thornton allowed that one play. Roark's first batter is Anthony Santander. He gets this one high and not all that deep into right center. It will be tracked down. Let's go to the 6th inning now. It's Dylan Tate checking in for Baltimore. Tom Eshelman's day is done. 5 shutout innings. He was really impressive. Let's see what Tate can do in relief. Jonathan Davis leads the inning off with a 2-2 count, and he will smoke this one into left. Should go for extra bases. So right when Baltimore makes the pitching change, now it seems like Toronto's offense is starting to do some damage, which could prove to be bad news for the O's. Runner on third, 1 out for Joe Panik. This one is hit into left. Mullins makes the grab. Davis headed home. It's a solid throw, but not in time. And the Blue Jays will quickly tie it up at 1 apiece as the sacrifice fly is completed successfully. Let's go bottom of the 6th inning now for Austin Hayes. Runner on 1 out. Rips a single into left. Hernandez fields it cleanly, but the Orioles do now have 2 runners on and a major opportunity to regain the lead. Adley Rutschman would fly out. The runner would advance to third. And that brings up Cedric Mullins, who's had a pretty quiet day. He will shortly hit this one into right. It is caught. And through 6 innings, this game remains tied at 1. And with 3 innings to go, it's anybody's to win. Simeon grounds this one to second. The play is easily made by Jones, and that will do it for the inning. That'll do it for Dylan Tate's day. 2 innings, allowed 1 run. Could have been better, but could have been worse as well. Jordan Romano will now enter in relief for the Blue Jays. Tanner Roark did a solid job, did not allow any runs. Maikel Franco going to lead the inning off, and Franco rips it into left field for a single. With not a lot of time left in this game, both offenses want to get some things going, and we'll see if Baltimore does it here in the 7th. Here's the following batter. Freddie Galvis now hits this one high and pretty deep in the left center. At the track at the wall, it has a chance. It's gone! 2-run shot for Freddie Galvis, his 11th of the year, and Baltimore is now on top 3-1. A huge home run right there for the O's. In most ballparks, that'd be an out, but that one scraped over the fence to give the Orioles the lead right back. With 2 away, Trey Mancini hits this one high and deep into center. It reaches the warning track, but it is caught by George Springer. Still a successful inning, though. The Orioles do put 2 on the board thanks to the 2-run blast by Galvis. Tanner Scott will now enter in relief for the Orioles. He's had a below-average season. Not terrible, but not great. He would get out of this inning pretty easily, as that one is flied out into center. Austin Hayes makes the play. So Baltimore is in control headed into the bottom of the 8th. We'll see if they can hold on and get the win. Romano remains in the game. 1 out here for Adley Rutschman. He will hit this one into left center, and it does drop for a hit. Adley Rutschman in his Major League debut, 2 for 4 with a pair of singles, and he picked off a runner. I would say that's a pretty good start for Adley Rutschman in his Major League career as he tries to be the face of this franchise. Maikel Franco now up with 2 outs, going to bloop this one into left. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. under it, and he will make the play. So, despite an Adley Rutschman base hit, Baltimore doesn't get anything going in that inning. And now on to the 9th. Travis Lakins is in for the save. We'll see if he gets it as the first batter, Gurriel, goes down on the off-speed pitch. Good start for Lakins, who has to deal with the meat of the Toronto lineup. Springer goes down looking on the cutter. That pitch was outside. I'm surprised they called it a strike. And this game comes down to Teoscar Hernandez, the 3-2, swinging a miss. And the O's get the win, striking out the side in the top of the 9th, and they win it 3-1 in Adley Rutschman's Major League debut. Rutschman with a solid performance again, 2 for 4 of a pair of singles and picking off a runner. Jahmai Jones and Freddie Galvis went deep for the Orioles. Trent Thornton pitched pretty well in this game. He gets the no decision, but he did a solid job for the Blue Jays. I'm surprised they took him out so early. 11 hits for the Orioles. Everybody except for Cedric Mullins actually got a base hit. Multiple base hits for Mountcastle, Hayes, and obviously Adley Rutschman. So we're going to simulate forward these next couple of series, and we're going to go to this end-of-month matchup in Houston against the Astros, and we would get some bad news in the injury front. Anthony Santander has broken his shin. He will be out for 2 to 3 months, so he will be put on the 60-day IL. That's definitely a big loss. He's one of our key players Corey Ray in AAA will be getting called up in his place. Ray was obviously a top draft pick by the Brewers a few years back. Never really developed there. We acquired him earlier in the season. And we're going to move him up to the big leagues. Kyle Stowers will jump from AA to AAA to replace Corey Ray's roster spot. Adley RUTSCHMAN, by the way, is doing fine. He's hitting .250. He has a home run. So let's play this first game against the Astros. Our Orioles currently 30-48. The Stros are 44-34. I don't know if there has been any cheating involved this season. Let's hope not. Corey Ray making his Major League debut. What in God's name is that hairline? I am permanently blinded by seeing that. Obviously, Corey Ray does not quite have the hype around him that, say, Adley RUTSCHMAN does, but it should be exciting to see what Ray can do. He is hitting 6th in the lineup today, one spot below Adley. Framber Valdez will be getting the start today for Houston, the lefty. He's had a nice year, 3.11 ERA, 1.27 whip. He's been very consistent and very solid this year for the Astros. Jahmai Jones going to lead things off. It's a 1-1 count. And Jones going to get this one into the left center gap. It should drop for extra bases. Just the start the Orioles wanted here as they try to possibly get on the scoreboard early. Mountcastle is now up, rips it into left field for a single. Jahmai Jones headed home. The throw to the plate is not even close. What was that? That was pretty ugly. RBI single for Mountcastle. It's now 1-0. Trey Mancini now gets a hanging pitch he likes. High, deep and a left at the wall. It's gone. 2-run shot for Trey Mancini. His 15th home run of the year. And the Orioles have exploded here in the first inning. They've put up an early 3 runs. But they're not done yet. Adley RUTSCHMAN gets that one past the legs of Valdez for a single into center. That'll bring up Corey Ray now, his first Major League at bat. And this one is hit pretty high into center field. Likely not deep enough, and it will be caught for the second out of the inning. Still a successful inning for the Orioles, though. They did put up 3 on the scoreboard as we go to the bottom of the first. Reynaldo Lopez getting the start, obviously acquired mid-season from the White Sox. Lopez has not been doing all that well since the trade. Hopefully he can rebound today, and that's not a particularly flying start as Yordan Alvarez with a bomb in the left center field. Alvarez with his 19th home run of the season, 369 feet. Nice. And Yordan Alvarez continuing his hot start to the year. He's one of the best designated hitters in baseball. Couple batters later, it's Alex Bregman with a deep shot into center. It goes off the top part of the wall, bounces in the air for a while, and that'll be a triple for Alex Bregman. It seems like the Astros know what pitches are coming. I don't know if that's by coincidence or what, but it is worth noting. Carlos Correa now rips it into left for a base hit. Correa on his horse for second. The throw from Mullins is in time. Cedric Mullins guns him down. The Astros do score a run on that play. It is 3-2. There are more runs in this first inning than the entire last game that we saw. That's kind of funny. Bottom of the second. It doesn't seem like the Astros are going to let up anytime soon. Yuli Gurriel with a deep shot into left. Kind of funny that both games today were against the Gurriel siblings. I'm pretty sure they're related. And this game is now tied at 3. Let's go to the top of the third. Adley RUTSCHMAN hits that one pretty high. Deep into straightaway center field. Up a track at the wall. Has a chance. And it is caught as Framber Valdez gets out of a sticky situation there. Valdez has pitched pretty well since the first inning. Bottom 3. First batter of the inning. It's Michael Brantley with a home run into right field. And Houston's lineup is dominating right now. They lead 4-3. Pretty rough start for Lopez. Yordan Alvarez now up. He homered in his last at-bat, but he does go down looking. A great slider by Reynaldo Lopez. Hopefully that can give him some more confidence. Full count pitch now for Correa. Swings and misses on the changeup. Houston has scored in all 3 innings thus far, but it does seem like Reynaldo Lopez is starting to gain some confidence. Corey Ray draws the walk, so it's not his first major league hit, but he does reach base the ugly way. That'll bring up Ramon Urias now. The 2-1 pitch. He places this one perfectly into right. It'll drop fair and bounce over the fence. So, a ground rule double for Urias. Baltimore has a pair of runners in scoring position with nobody out. And Freddie Galvis will easily drive both of them in. 2-run double for Galvis. And the Orioles are right back on top as it's now 5-4. A big hit there from Galvis, who's been a little bit inconsistent this season, but he's hit for good power, and he's had quite a few extra base hits. Austin Hayes now, the following batter, gets that one into right center. It should drop for extras, an RBI double for Hayes. And the Orioles quickly put up 3 runs here in the 4th inning. They now lead 6-4 in what has been a very great offensive start for both teams throughout this game. Bottom 4, nobody out for Kyle Tucker. What a play by Rio Ruiz, getting dirty for the first out of the inning, preventing a base hit. Let's go bottom of the 5th now. Both pitchers are starting to do a little bit better. 2 outs now for Jose Altuve, who gets that one into right center. Hayes misplays it. Altuve rounding second, headed to third. That'll be a 2-out triple for Jose Altuve, and the Astros have themselves a runner 90 feet away from home, and they will drive him in as Yordan Alvarez will single it into right, and it is now 6-5 as the Astros cut the lead in half. Bregman is now up, the 1-1, hits that one high into center. It's very deep. Hayes chasing after it with a great defensive play, possibly saving a run. So it is 6-5 going into the 6th. Jake Odorizzi will enter. Neither starting pitcher has played well today, but this is the first pitching change all day. And the first batter Odorizzi faces is going to be a home run for Ramon Urias, who gets that one off the foul pole and left. That'll be his 3rd dingер this season, and Baltimore gets it back to a 2-run lead as it's now 7-5. Can Odorizzi get out of the inning with ease? The answer is yes. The next 3 batters are retired, including a Jahmai Jones strikeout to finish things off. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th. Hunter Harvey will enter for the O's, as Baltimore going to hopefully get 2 innings out of him. He started the year off really well. He's played a little bit worse, but he hasn't been terrible this year. It would be a 1-2-3 inning for Harvey. He strikes out Gurriel on the outside off-speed pitch. Game remains 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Now another easy inning for Harvey. He flies this one out to left, and it will be caught to end the inning. So let's go to the top of the 8th now. Both offenses have really cooled down since the relievers entered. 2 away for Jahmai Jones. Weekly grounds this one to the pitcher. Odorizzi tries to make the play, but Jahmai Jones is safe. And things are now starting to heat up here at the top of the 8th with 2 on and 2 out for Maikel Franco. Franco actually entered this game as a pinch hitter earlier for Rio Ruiz, as he will fly this one out to left. Baltimore does not score anybody, and it will remain a 7-5 game going into the bottom of the 8th. Houston only has 2 more chances to come back. Sean Armstrong will enter for Baltimore. He's had a fine season, 4.19 ERA. Not bad, not great either, as Alvarez goes down fishing for the first out of the inning. Bregman also goes fishing. Did not get anything with that bait. Back-to-back beautiful strikeouts for Armstrong. Let's go to the 9th. Ryan Stanek is in for the Astros, by the way. He will get out of the inning with ease. It's a 1-2-3 as RUTSCHMAN flies out to the catcher. Martin Maldonado makes the play. Quiet game for Adley RUTSCHMAN. He went 1 for 5 with a single back in the first inning. As we go to the 9th inning, Travis Lakin Sr. on for the save. He's really been the only good reliever for the most part this year. 2 away for Martin Maldonado, the 3-2. It's grounded to second. Urias makes the play, and the ball game is over. The O's win it by the final score of 7-5. A lot of offense early, but the bullpens really played well for both teams down the stretch. We put up 3 in the first, 3 in the 4th, and that's really how we were able to get this win. We had 13 hits total. They had 10. So it was both offenses who were really doing a great job. Mancini and Urias went deep. Lopez gets the win, although he didn't pitch very well. It was the bullpen who really played well for us. The Astros, obviously, they hit well too. Brantley, Alvarez, and Gurriel each went deep. Valdez gets the loss, his 3rd of the season. He did not pitch overly well either. We would simulate the next 2 games, and we would end up winning one of them. So that'll do it for this episode. Officially at the halfway mark of the season. 81 games in, 81 to go. We are 32-49. We're on pace to finish 64-98, which I know is not great. Obviously, it's definitely an upward process of building a World Series contender, but we're going to do it. Next episode, we're going to go through the month of July. I don't think the trade deadline will be next episode. I think I'm probably going to save that for the following one. But that doesn't mean we won't make trades in the next episode. Again, let me know who you think we should go after in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out. Peace.